Hey guys, what's up? It's Sharon with Tumblebeans. I wanted to show you guys how to make this cute little Merry Christmas sign that we have in our shop. And it comes with a little stand. And so I did a little tutorial video. If you haven't purchased the kit yet, I'm gonna leave the link below. It comes with everything that you need, the stencil to do the cute buffalo plaid, all the cut pieces, the backer, the stand, paint, glue, foam brushes, everything that you'll need. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. And please take a picture of your sign once you finish and tag us, Tumblebeans. So in your box, you will find your wooden round. I give you two options to paint the back, the backer. You can either use the stain that I include. I'm also going to show you a little tip where you can use any paint, like a black paint, gray paint, or a brown paint. I'm going to use gray, and I'm going to show you how to get a stained look with paint and a baby wipe. So you should have a baby wipe. You have everything in your box that you guys are going to need. So I'm going to take my paint that I want to use. And don't put it directly on your backer. You're going to want to put it on your baby wipe. If it's just harder to spread if you don't put it directly on the baby wipe. And I'm just gonna wipe it. And you see you get that like weathered gray stain look. You could also use like if you want to get like a wood stain, like a brown, I would go with a craft paint like a burnt sienna. Just something with a little bit of a red tint. I feel like that looks prettier. Get a little more. Be careful when you go to the edge. Don't go crazy with the paint because you don't want it to drip down on the sides. You want to try to keep your edges as clean as possible. If you do get it on it, it's okay. Just grab like a paper towel and it wipes off really easily. And if you like see spots that really bother you, if you're a perfectionist at the end and they've already dried, go over it with a brown marker, like a Sharpie, and no one will ever see it. And because baby wipes are flushable, you might get a little bit of like lint from them, but everything's gonna be covered, it'll be fine. I am all about simple. So if I don't have to like store stains or when I do my signs, I just have to have paint, I am so much better. I'm so much happier with that. And it looks just as good as using stain, in my opinion. All right, I think I'm about done. And it dries really fast versus like painting on wood. All right, so what do you guys think? A stained wood without actually using stain. So I'm just gonna set that to the side and let it dry. And after that, we're gonna grab our stencil, our buffalo plaid stencil, and apply that. But you wanna make sure this is really dry. So now we're gonna paint all of our pieces, our wood cutout pieces. And I've already done a coat on mine. I did them earlier. I just forgot to record this video. So I already have one coat. So I'm just gonna do another coat. And I reuse my sponges. You guys will get full sponges. But you can always reuse these. I just cut the edge and then you can use them again. The key here is you're gonna only want like very little on your sponge because you don't want to get it on the sides. So you want it sort of like a dry sponge, like very dry. And then you're just gonna do light coats. And you really only, I think I did one on this one. I'm doing one more. You should do two maximum of 3 coats. You don't want to pile on the paint though. Like just make sure you don't have any like clumping up. This is so much better than using a paintbrush. I don't know if you've ever done crafts with paintbrushes, but I never like it because I don't like seeing the strokes, those lines from the paintbrushes. This is such a better option. It's just like makeup sponges. You can find them at the dollar store. I buy them in bulk on Amazon. it just goes faster too. With a paintbrush, I would be going so slowly, trying not to get it on the sides, but with this, it's so much easier. So easy. All right, doesn't that look nice? No paint on the sides. All right, so put that one to the side. Gonna work on Mary. And then you have a stand for your sign. And I'm just gonna paint mine black. Dries really quickly if you don't put too much on it, so you're able to quickly go back. All right, I'm gonna let those dry. I already did my tree. I'm gonna do the brown for the trunk. And then I want to do a little bit of highlighting on this, like white, like for the snow. So I'm gonna put very, very, very little white on my sponge and just like on the edge. Like very, very little. Let's see, it's too much. I just go like wherever there are points and do a little highlighting like that. If you get a little too much like I did there, you can just take a baby wipe and get the extra off. It comes right off. Okay, so now you're gonna wanna grab some painter's tape because we need to paint our red strip. So you're gonna grab your red paint and some painter's tape. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. About 1.5 inches. I think this tape is actually 1.5 inches, so right there. That should be good. And then you want to go about 4.5 inches up from here. So make sure your backer is nice and dry, and make sure you don't have a ton of stickiness on the back of your stencil. Oops. Okay. And you're going to carefully place your stencil down. If you find the pieces are coming up, just put it back down and press it with your finger. I also give you a toothpick if you need to work with a couple of the pieces. All right, now we're going to need black. And we're gonna make our cute buffalo flag. So same rules apply, just use a really light sponge and you're just going to pat it down. And I'm probably gonna do 2 coats on this. I kind of want some of the red to appear through, but it all just depends on what you want. So I'm gonna speed this part up because you've seen me apply the paint before. This is really like the last tedious part of the process. After this, you're just gonna let it dry. You're gonna glue on your cut pieces and you're done. All right, apply your first coat, let this dry a little bit, and then you're gonna apply a second one. Once you're done, don't let it finish drying before you rip off the paint and the vinyl. All right, so if it's still wet, go ahead and rip that off, then let it dry, and then we're going to apply our cut pieces. All right, so I'm just going to speed this up and let's cut to the next part so we can glue on our pieces. Okay, I feel like this video is taking a really long time, so I'm just going to cut it here. So finish doing your painting and then rip up your vinyl and your tape before it dries. And so now we're going to glue on our cut pieces. Okay, so you might have some spots that you need to fix. Some of the vinyl took up a lot of the red. Just use the tip of your sponge and go over it really carefully. All right, and then that's done. Okay, now we're gonna need to glue on our cut pieces. So to do that, grab the super glue that was included. You only need to put a really small amount, and you don't even need to cover the whole piece. Just go for like the larger areas and just be careful because this can come out pretty fast. All right, and again, I just eyeball it. That looks good to me. And just pat it down. All right, and then you're gonna take your Mary and you're gonna glue those down as well. Just make sure they're centered. Great. All right, and that should dry pretty quickly. Just cap your super glue because it will keep coming out. And there you go, your Christmas sign. Just for your stand, you're just going to want to slide it together like that. And you're going to set up your Christmas sign like that. You could also get some command strips. Oops. You could also get command strips and put it on the back and hang it on the wall. And there you go. There is your sign.